So we're going to take a look at some of the definitions that go along with this unit, some specific terms that we need to know. And so first one that we'll look at is this term called outcome. Okay, an outcome is a possible result of an experiment. So it's not actually what happens, but what could potentially happen. Okay? An event is a set of outcomes that have the same result. So if you have an outcome of being heads or tails, let's say you're flipping a coin, one potential event is all of the tails. Okay, so anytime you flip a coin and you get a tail, that is a certain event. Okay, you end up with a tails event. Okay, a trial is one round of a probability experiment. So again, if you're flipping a coin, every single time that you flip that coin, that represents one trial in the experiment. Probability is a measure of the likelihood that a specific event is going to occur, that you're going to get a specific outcome. Okay. And so you might have a very high probability that you get a specific outcome, or you could have a very low probability that you get a specific outcome. Tally chart is just a measure of keeping track of experimental results, and we did examples of that with the fish experiment, as well as just pulling the odds and even tiles out of a bag experiment. Okay, and then finally, experimental probability, which is what we're really looking at here, is determined using the results of an experiment or a simulation. So something that you actually do. Okay, you try it in the real world. Okay, and experimental probability is equal to the number of successful trials. Okay, so whatever you determine success to be. So for example, the number of trials that result in a tails event. Okay, divided by the total number of trials. Okay, so we're going to complete the following statements down here. It'd be a helpful thing to record this in your notes or complete filling this in if you've already had the opportunity to print off your notes for this particular lesson. Okay, so we're going to complete the following statements. So it is possible to have 0 successful trials. Okay, it's possible that none of your trials will be successful. Okay? And if this is the case, then you end up with a probability of 0. Okay, so for example, the probability of rolling a dice and landing, so rolling one 6-sided dice and rolling a 7, the probability of that is 0. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's outside the realm of possibility. Okay, the number of successful trials can equal also the total number of trials. Okay, and in this case, the probability is actually 1. So for example, if you're flipping a coin and you're recording on a tally chart the number of times that you've rolled heads versus tails, if you flip that coin 10 times, you have 10 trials, it is possible that you could get 10 heads in a row. Okay, that is entirely possible. And so therefore your experimental probability of rolling heads would be 100%, which is what the 1 represents. Okay, that 1 represents the percentage, or 100%. Okay. So for example, the probability of rolling either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on a single roll of a 6-sided dice is 1. Okay, because you're guaranteed to roll either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 when you roll a 6-sided dice a single time. Okay, so probability, if you're looking at it from a percentage or from a decimal point of view, probability is always going to have a value between 0, okay, certain absolutely that it's never going to happen, okay, and 1. Okay, so either 1.0 as a decimal or 100% that it's certain absolutely to happen. It will occur.